Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Maizam Bint Osman and my metric number is A16A1342. So today I would like to present about my internship at Pos Logistics, which is I'm under operational department, so it's located at a warehouse at Portland. So I will explain first about the company, which is type of company, background of company, role of each department, and also the operational activities that exist at the company. So first I will explain about the type of the company. Pos Logistics is a business portfolio with end-to-end logistics solution that provide comprehensive range of service to a broad scope of clients, from the private individual until to the international corporation. Pos Logistics service include a range of integrated logistics service such as container haulage, transportation, warehousing and distribution, freight forwarding, shipping agency, custom and port clearance service. And that is the company background. Pos Logistics was established in 1984 as an institution subordinate to the Post Malaysia Berhad. Currently, there are 5 departments, which is operational department, commercial department, corporate department, human capital, and lastly financial department. And each of the department, they have their own supervision. And Pos Logistics vision, mission and value is a vision connecting Malaysia and beyond for today and tomorrow, and the mission is build and deliver the network of choice. And they started of the Pos Logistics, they start with 15 prime mover and 60 trailers only. Okay, but Pos Logistics are not only serve in the state of Peninsular Malaysia, but also in the East Malaysia and also abroad. So today, with more than 30 years experience, and they still with their company values, which is there is 5 values that they have, that Pos Logistics are still used, which is empathy, decorum, integrity, accountability, and innovation. And after 30 years, Pos Logistics are become one of the biggest logistics service provider in Malaysia, that they provide with a 26 branch office and 12 agents throughout Malaysia, and the employees are more than 1,000 staff. With the other business together with Pos Logistics, which is together becomes subsidiary under Pos Malaysia, is Pos Laju, Pos International, Pos Arahnu, Pos Aviation, Pos S, Pos Digichat, and Data Post. Okay, for the operational activity is at Pos Logistics warehouse there is 2 warehouse service and also distribution service. For the warehouse service, there is bonded and non-bonded, ambient and temperature control. There is a halal warehousing and value add service. For the distribution service, also bonded and non-bonded trucking, cross-boarding trucking, which is from Thailand and also Singapore, truck flight, car and motorcycle carrier, and also for the halal transportation. So the second is scope exposure toward the trainees. In my slide, there is 4 points, which is the better understanding about the field, understanding about rules and regulation, know well about the system, and lastly using right method while dealing with the client. So I will explain first about the better understanding about the field. Okay, for the before I came to the Pos Logistics warehouse, I just learning about logistic industry through the books, classes, and also lectures. And I'm not knowing nothing about logistics. But when I came to the Pos Logistics warehouse, because of my industrial training, I know more and I gain more knowledge about the real environment in logistic industry, from the first point until the end, until the goods are received at our place, or until the goods are received at our clients. Yeah. And the secondly is understanding about rules and regulation. I also now have a better understanding about the rules and regulation, including safety in industrial environment. Why I'm talking about the safety, because the first thing first, when I came to the Pos Logistics warehouse, they teach me about safety. Yes, from the color of attire, and what I need to do, what I need to wear, what I don't have to do, or what I cannot wear when I came to the warehouse. Because even though the color of our t-shirt, it will give more effect at us when we came to the warehouse, because safety is number one, the main important, the main that we need to think, right? Okay. So the third point is well know about the system. Okay. I know about the system, but I'm not so very well about the system, and I still learning. And as I'm doing my industrial training, I get to know on how to use the PLB integrated logistic automate resources system, or in short form is we call it as a pillars. Also, the second is the warehouse management system, WMS, fleet management system, yard management system, GPS track vehicle, and also track and trace. Because all that the system that can be used as a place to fill our data, or as a sources of important that can help us to do our work become more faster and more smoothly. And each of the system, they have a different using, or different system on how we use it. And using the right method while dealing with the client is communication skill, because communication skill is a very important skill that not all the people can have it. But instead, all industrial in this world look at it as a first condition to success in a company. Because at Pos Logistics, I learned this skill while I'm on my industrial training, which is I need to ask more information with the staff if I don't understand something, if I don't know. And because I'm thinking if I'm not interacting with the others, then my work will getting harder. And because of I'm always communicate with the staff, I managed to improve my communication skill while I'm on the service quality unit. When I help them to call the client and to take their detail about their goods, about their orders. And that's why, because I directly communicate with them. Okay. The third is contribution towards the company. And as you can see in my slide, there is 5 points. Healthy communication with colleagues, working in computer-oriented environment, showing good positive attitude, chance to handle part of working and time planning and management. Okay. Work under the same required me to maintain healthy communication with my colleagues or with the staff, because showing a good positive attitude as well as willing to learn attitude project are better impression toward the client. And for the time planning and management, time planning and management are also was among what I learned as well. Okay, with a deadline on our tasks, I learned to manage time effectively by spending optimum time for each task, because work fast but at the same time good quality of input, it was another lesson learned as well, so that we can complete our tasks in allocated time. So the third point is working in computer-oriented environment. So working in a computer-oriented environment where computer actually is used to carry out every task, beginning from the first point of the warehouse, the first meeting before we started our operational on the day, until the task is complete. And I realized it's important to master as computer knowledge in order to work more efficiently and effectively. And besides that, I know my knowledge in using Microsoft Word and Excel are improving throughout my training. And this is because most of logistic industrial management work, they will present in the words or in the Excel form, and that is why keeping update knowledge about the computer software, about the system in the computer, will definitely help in working speed. Yeah. And 4 is the challenges that exist at the Pos Logistics warehouse. What I see about the issue that Pos Logistics warehouse need to face, there is 4 that I see, which is the first one is the layout of the warehouse, inaccurate quantities of good, product identification, and lastly training. There is 4. So I will explain first about the layout of the warehouse. Okay, it's not important for the warehouse are large or small, but the capital issue are still often equate in the inventory issue. So often when a warehouse become crowded with pallet or cases of the inventory, and it make the basic rules of managing the warehouse become overlooked. So when the staff want to attempt to store more inventory, the other product will often get damaged, lost, and maybe not accounted for in the inventory management system. And storage problem can also create the inventory issue, because maybe, as for example, Pos Logistics at the warehouse, they have 1 carton of the product left, but they unable to find it because of the storage problem. That's what I see. And even though 1 carton or maybe 1 pallet, they become the biggest problem for them to find it, because that is not Pos Logistics goods, but the goods belong to their client. And if they cannot to find the goods, they need to pay the charge, and the charge of the fee are not very, it's very pricing, not very cheap. Secondly, inaccurate quantities of goods. Inaccurate remain one of the biggest problems facing all warehouses. Inaccurate take shape in many forms, such as inaccurate quantities, inaccurate storage location, inaccurate pricing, and inaccurate identification. And at the same point in time, most companies experience inaccurate quantity of one or more product in their warehouse. So this is what happens very often with the Pos Logistics warehouse, especially there is a big box that have millions of product stock keeping unit or SKU. Often there is a very tight, not a very, but tiny goods. They hardly to find it, and often an inaccurate quantity of the product stems from one of the other areas of inaccuracy what I call it as the goods are at the other places, and an item are placed in the wrong location of the warehouse, and it can get overlooked when searching for the inventory. This leads to an inaccurate count of the inventory's item, and this is also the biggest problem for the warehouse. Like I said this before, because of the layout of the warehouse, the goods become damaged or maybe missing. They can't find it, the goods. So the third is product identification. Warehousing inventory issue is when inventory arrive with incorrect labels, barcode, maybe the difference of seal of the container, and also the packaging. The last point for the challenge is the training. Okay, so for my opinion, unfortunately, a large number of warehouse inventory issues result from the improper or a complete lack of employee training. Typically, issues involving inventory accuracy, damage, and product identification, which can be traced back to human error. Improperly trained warehouse personnel create inventory issue, then better trained personally regularly avoid. So, for example, Pos Logistics warehouse always take non-local workers. What I say is about the workers are from the other country, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Myanmar, Indonesia, and there is underqualified for the driver forklift, and it's more likely can be a reason how the product can damage during the inventory put away and retrieval than an experienced forklift driver. And that is why proper training increase a warehouse efficiency and productivity, and at the same time decrease inventory management issue. But what I see at the Pos Logistics warehouse, they take workers because they want to cut the cost, right? They want the cheapest one workers, and that is the only alternative. How they can get workers in a very small amount of price. Okay, so for my suggestion for improvement of based on the issue is the first one, improve the communication skill. So because under all circumstance, communication should be the number one priority for the warehouse manager managing the employees. How they're making sure that they have a good communication is vital. Set a regular meeting with team members to talk about the current problem and find the way together, or maybe just meeting before start the operation on the day, and we need to keep our customer update with the latest information. So there should be no excuse for the failure, as long as warehouse always giving confirmation for them, for their client. So second point is widen the working space. My suggestion is make sure of the vertical storage. It can help reduce the multifunction, because using vertical lift module, warehouse can maximize storage in the warehouse and make use a blank space efficiently to stock more important goods, and also to access the product from the multiple floor. Maybe Pos Logistics can build opening from inside the warehouse, or on each floor, which is the side rack maybe, or moreover making use a vertical space, which is Pos Logistics can minimize the picking errors, and on the same time is increasing productivity. And recruit more staff in operation department. Okay, maybe because of I saw at the Pos Logistics warehouse there is so many work need to do, because there is the operational department, but because of there is a lot of error. One of the reason is there is lack of staff, and I think Pos Logistics need to recruit maybe hire the workers for the other coming peak season, and maybe they can take a fresh graduate, or maybe more interns, so that they can learn and they can work at the company. So that is my short explanation about my company that I'm training, which is Pos Logistics Warehouse at Port Klang. And that's all for me. Thank you.